This round of 32 picks Sunday edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Cut. Cut is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's U.S.-based and available in 40 states. Head to cut.com, that's Kutt.com, and use promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play their fantasy pick'em for a chance to win 100x in the NBA, NHL, college basketball, and more. Sign up today using promo code SGPN to get a 100% deposit match. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. Welcome, everyone, to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, second the money green with my partner on picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. Do we have some like a funeral recession to play for the first half unders?
Oh, wow.
Well, I'm just speaking for the audience, who seems to be
I'm not doing the first half unders next year. Like it's some weird threat that you're not playing.
Hope you're happy.
Joining us to talk all things college basketball, Colby Dant from the College Basketball Experience, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. What's happening, Colby?
There were 16 games today.
Yes.
I went 13-3 ATS.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Wait, did you really, Colby?
I did.
All right. Congratulations, Colby. CJ.
Hi, how are you?
A.k.a. the man in the box, a.k.a. the bet detective. What's happening, man?
Nothing. I did not go 13-3. We're
No.
seeing more friends at our window that way, so I'm a little distracted.
Whoa.
Sorry, update the record. 14-3.
Nice.
Yeah, 14-3 as we shifted here. Now we have Charlie's Angels at the window.
I didn't know they were so happy about the first half overs.
Yeah, they're excited to move on.
Oh, just when I find the Girls Gone Wild music, they walk away.
But I'm happy we're here. It was a great day. We're finishing up, wrapping up the Vegas trip. Tensions are high. Moods are changed. But we're getting through this. Grand Canyon moves on in my my beautiful future.
Grand
Still
Canyon,
alive.
JMU.
Yeah.
I mean,
not a great day picks-wise, but I hit on a bunch of money line dogs, including Grand Canyon. That was nice. Utah State on the money line.
I had Yale. Didn't play at money line, but I had Yale. The Colorado Buffaloes, KJ Simpson, son of OJ, doing it like OJ did in '74.
Weaving in and out of traffic.
Kramer, how we doing? Are we gonna discuss Satchelgate or no? Move on.
No, well, I mean, we can, but it's just going to invoke me being angry.
All right. Ryan lost his satchel. We're rallying.
No, I didn't lose my satchel.
Satchel was stolen.
I'll publicly announce it. My identity has been stolen. I want to fight someone right now. I almost fought a stranger.
Really?
Because, long story short, I lost something. I went to go find it because my AirPods were in there, pinged. And there was a guy sitting right in the location. I just walked up and said, "What's up, dude?"
See, I had to go get my bag. This was my fear, was that I was walking with them, and I said, "Dude, we see that the ping is like 40 yards away, and we're like, we're definitely fighting someone tonight, right? Because there's no other place it could possibly be besides the garbage or a human being, right?"
It's funny because we want that thing to be extremely specific location, like the movie, like aha, it's in your wallet. I can see it right now, but that's not how it works.
What about
it gives you like a close range.
Well, here, all right. So breaking it down,
Like
it
phones,
actually
at least.
once you get close enough, you can actually hit a button that says you're really fucking close now. Change to near mode, and then it starts scanning, and it will say like far, almost like Marco Polo.
Oh, that's cool.
Until you find it in the bottom of a trash can.
That's not fun. Can we give it to those girls and try to track them or something like that? Can we make a game out of it?
Throw an air tag.
The bet detective needs to put a hair tag on your purse there, sweetie.
Anyway, so I'm eventually going to find out that someone attempts to steal my identity.
Yes.
The only thing that was stolen was a piece of. So let's just say it. The only thing that was stolen was the thing that shouldn't have been stolen.
And tax form from the Miss Piggy slot machine.
It was a jackpot. Listen to what the security basically are like. Yeah, you filed a report. I'm like, cool. Well, now it's a crime. I need you to tell me who told, like, what happened here. Can't talk. We can't show you a camera. Not gonna do that. I'm like, okay. So what's the next step? Go file a police report. I'm like, okay. So I go online to file the police report. It specifically says if this is related to identity theft, please file the report in person or over the phone. I'm not doing that. So I'm walking back over here angrily. I see some cops, and I say, excuse me, officer. I want to explain a scenario to you, and I want you to tell me what I should do. I explained the scenario, and he goes, there's been no crime committed yet? And I said, well, kinda, but not really. He's like, sorry, can't do anything about it. Well, so what should I do? I guess monitor your stuff.
Well, they stole your tax return at the very least, right?
I mean, maybe they'll pay my taxes.
That would be sweet.
Or I'm going to have lines of credit all over town. Hopefully they're a slot player, so I'm getting rewards.
Did you have any plays in that satchel? Can we check to see if anyone's hammering any first half unders?
That is the tragic part. The analog cheat sheet for 2024 was
well, that's worth more than anything else you had in there. Right?
Honestly, everything. If I go back to the room and everything smells like fucking beer, it's all trash. It's all going in the trash. 100% of it. So we'll see.
All right,
Brian.
Thanks for bringing it up.
I did like if Sean says, should we bring it up? He says no, and then Sean immediately brings it up.
I know. I gave him no, I didn't bring it up more after that. I was moving on. Right? I was going to make fun of the people complaining about the first half unders. The first half unders are a lifestyle, people. It's not for everyone. Right. Okay? Hey, you'd be like, hey, you were driving a Ferrari and you got a flat tire. I'm never getting a Ferrari again. This thing is horrible. It's a lifestyle, sweetheart. It's a lifestyle. It's not for everyone. We have a system. And yes, there are years where it's more profitable, and there's years where it's less profitable. We were on the wrong side of 3 fucking buzzer beaters before the first half. If that kind of sweat and up and down isn't your system's not capable of handling that, find a new show.
Yeah, no, look, I say this all the time on our show.
It's a vibe.
Grab your nuts. You make a bet that is your bet.
Yeah.
That is your bet out there in the universe, all right? So stop blaming us. Yes, we had a losing year on the first half unders, but we'll be back next year doing the same thing because over what? How many years now, Kramer?
It doesn't even matter. It's even like I feel like we're just talking down to stupid people right now.
Yeah,
I'm explaining something to stupid people.
Ryan, and we were discussing before the VSiN show some other systems that are possibly developing, possibly in the works. Should we share them with the audience?
Nope.
We probably don't want to share with them.
Maybe patrons only.
Yeah, with the audience, because if some things don't work out, then people complain. What was the final number?
First touchdowns, I'm pulling that.
Yeah, the numbers weren't even that bad. And I will say, you said something on the VSiN show that piqued my interest. How it has you rooting against buzzer beaters, which that turns me on. That turns me on.
Yes.
I'm like, yes, I'm gonna keep riding some more blind first half unders just for that.
First half buzzer beaters.
First half buzzer beater. But anyway, just rooting against it. Like, oh, God damn it! Like just being that kind of jerk in the public sportsbook. I love it.
The roar for an under is never as loud as the roar for an over.
Right.
All right, we got a lot of picks, action to get to. Of course, if you're looking for action, head over to cut.com. But, the ultimate put your money where your mouth is. So all these people chatting and firing away at us, oh, this is a dumb system. Luckily I was on the opposite side. Put your money where your mouth is. I got a cut username at Sean T. Green. You could have been taking all my first half unders. Instead, you were just a coward sitting on the couch. Go to cut.com. Use the promo code SGPN. Step up your game and the custom bets. So fun to come up with your own bets. We did have will a first 4 team advance to the round of 32. That cash.
Yes, sir.
So hopefully you bet the yes on that as the Colorado Buffs, a.k.a. Bison.
Not only did it cash, I think we even said it was Colorado.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was going to be Colorado or Colorado State, but Colorado definitely on them today early and often.
Colorado.
Okay. Colby, again, and Colby, you did lose more than 3 games if we want to get into that. But cut.com.
No, I didn't. Who did I lose?
All right. You want me to walk through your losers?
Yeah, because I'll match you right now.
FAU,
Yep.
Western Kentucky,
Yep.
New Mexico,
Yep.
TCU.
Oh, fuck. TCU game went final. Sorry, 12-4.
I will say
12-4.
Great day.
I did forget about the TCU game. I did forget about that, but still, I mean,
I
fuck off. All right, because
this is so
12
great.
and 4 is very good.
JMU money line, Grand Canyon money line,
listeners.
A&M money line, Colorado money line, and then I did say Yale, but I didn't play money line.
Listeners, what you're hearing right now is the last day of the week of 3 men who are rooming together in Las Vegas for a full-on week, and it's great.
It's been a
beautiful.
long week.
It's come to a culmination. All the games that were great today in the rooting, they got personal, had nothing to do with the games themselves. They were like, I want Yale to win because fuck Sean Green. It was all kinds of stuff. Like, okay, all right.
When Auburn was down, I mean, I thought Yale was going to cover, but when I saw Yale was in a spot to potentially win this game, when it was like a 5-point game with a couple minutes left, and at the same time Florida was down, I was like, this is fucking perfect. Noah's got Florida in the Final Four.
We did give you a lot of shit about Nevada.
Yeah. Kramer's got Auburn going far, and I couldn't believe they bought that Cutlass Supreme bullshit from Bruce Pearl, because you know the guy can't coach in March.
Smash!
And I went against thou shalt fade the major conference tournament winners. So, yeah, that was on me. But, fuck my bracket. Other than that, Grand Canyon money line was very fun.
Okay.
JMU.
Yeah, the Noah
Utah State money line.
Yes.
A lot of fun. These late dogs were getting hot. So that was pretty sweet. Any other big plays from today? Obviously, Auburn losing outright was huge.
Let's talk a little bit about the SEC.
SEC.
I know the Mountain West was catching strays, but at least they got 3 wins. And it's funny how the teams that were seated higher won.
I know.
You know, let me get this straight. San Diego State, who was seated high, the 2 highest were San Diego State and Utah State. Now, you could say that they deserve to be the highest seeded because they won, but I believe that would be bullshit. I believe that if you seed the rest of the teams correctly, they probably would have won more games.
It was insane. Like, San Diego State, which did not deserve the 5 seed, but they got the win because, you get a lesser of an opponent. I love to say, that proves it. Yeah,
these people that sit there and think that, they're terrible. I get it. Like, Vegas set the odds for New Mexico to win, and New Mexico laid a dud. But I still believe if you put New Mexico against a lesser opponent, their chances of winning go up. And if you can't understand that, but let's talk about the SEC.
You don't make Boise travel to Dayton in the middle of the week to play the game. When,
the SEC though, going what's their record now? 1-5? No, A&M won.
3-5.
Who's the third team now? Alabama.
A&M and then Bama.
Yeah.
There was an FSEC chance going on in our viewing party after the F Noah chance for Florida. I had a Florida ticket that I'm like, you know what? I don't care. It's more fun to root against Noah, apparently, who had full Florida gear. And I was like, money I'll just give right back. With the Florida, the Noah hate. I can, at least that's something I can invest in.
We have seen a couple of videos of a bison or a buffalo stomping the crap out of a gator. So
we were in a private VIP studio.
Oh, look at this guy.
And Noah was the lone person on Florida. The rest of the room, about 15 other people, were on Colorado. Well, actually, I guess you were on Florida, but
I was on Florida, and I defended for half a second. I'm like, this ain't worth it. I am bailing on this. I did.
I got to be honest.
I Benedicted on
Had
Noah.
Colorado lost that game, I was going to pull a Dan Snyder and put sour milk all over that fucking place. But yeah,
Colorado, great win. Great way to close that out. Although they almost choked it away a couple times. I can't tell if it was because Florida had a good fight and they played well, or Colorado had some holes
fight,
in their
but Colorado had some struggles getting it up the court. They also missed some free throws. But man, overall, Eddie Lamke was a fucking beast against the Gators. They had no answer for him all game.
So we've already picked all the Saturday games. If you want that episode, go back and listen to last night's podcast, youtube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast. We're going to get to Sunday's games, and of course, head over to underdogfantasy.com. Use our promo code SGPN. Get a 100% deposit match up to $100. Get you covered there. And of course, game time. That's right. MLB right around the corner. Get some opening day tickets or the NBA or, Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final 4. Get the best prices and the most convenient way to get tickets online, gametime.co. Use a promo code SGPN. Get $20 off your first purchase. Are you kidding me? What a deal. You get the Game Time guarantee, so you know you're getting the best deal. GameTime.co, promo code SGPN. Noah, do you have any underdog fantasy pick'em entries you'd like to share with the audience?
Hi, guys. No, I don't. I was put on the spot here.
Oh, come on, Noah.
I like that. Hi, guys. No, I do not.
Colby, any underdog fantasy pick'ems for the audience?
I'm sorry, I was just seeing an error there, but I'm sure we can figure this out right now. The internet speed is not like I'm in my house.
Does that mean it's faster?
Yes, that means it's a lot faster.
For me, it is, yeah.
Colby's getting dizzy with this fast internet.
They don't have anything up for it.
All right,
right
so
now.
stay tuned.
Yeah.
Hit us up at Gambling Podcast if you want some underdog pick'em entries. Kramer, let's talk a little Sunday round of 32.
Can I put a flag on the who graded the sheet?
I did. Why? What did I grade incorrectly?
Kramer, take a look at that College of Charleston, Alabama score.
Is he giving himself credit for a win?
He's giving credit for a win and us a loss, even though we hit. You got to watch this guy. I bet detective get on the case.
Well,
I've had a couple cocktails. There you go.
That's why I don't look at computers.
we'll have to get the best detective on the case. That might have been deliberate. 9:10 a.m. on the West Coast. We're heading to Indianapolis, Indiana, where Marquette and Colorado square off in the South region. 210. Marquette laying 4 points, minus 180 on the money line. Colorado 150. 146 is the total. Colby, assume you're on the Buffs here.
Yes. Look, I said this before that I think Colorado is a team that has potential to go very far. Now, obviously, Marquette, you could say as well because of their regular season. But Marquette had the struggles in the first half. Yes, they made adjustments. Western Kentucky's defense couldn't stop anybody. But Marquette also got a little fortunate. They still would have won the game, but they were making some crazy circus shots. I don't think that's sustainable. And like I said, the play-in game, there's always a team in the play-in game you don't want to face. Colorado, I think, can go toe-to-toe. And I actually think I'm fascinated by the Kolek-KJ Simpson matchup because I think some people might have got educated on how good KJ Simpson was today. And I think Colorado's roster can match them. So I'm on the Buffs. They're hot. They're getting points. And the only thing is this will be a little bit of a Marquette crowd, right?
Not tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, an Indy.
That would be the only negative I could find here. But give me the Buffs. I think they're alive for the money line.
I mean, I'm with you, Colby. I'm taking the Buffs +4. Eddie Lampkin Jr., that guy is unstoppable. When he gets down low, when they get him the ball in, going towards the hoop there, he is a tough matchup. I faded Marquette, admittedly, with Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky, they were hanging around that game the entire time, kind of let it get away from them. If Colorado can play a little better defense than they did against Florida, I think they're going to be in this game because I think Colorado's offense is going to be able to put up a bunch of points.
I think they
against
can,
Marquette.
but Florida scores a lot. So, to me, yes, Colorado's defense, I guess, showed some cracks, I guess. But Florida does that Alabama stuff, run up the court, shoot all these crazy shots. And to me, Marquette does not do that. So I think that's a good thing for the Buffs' favor.
CJ?
102 to 100 was the score.
That was crazy.
That 102 to 100. As me and Mac were saying.
It's an NBA score.
Yeah.
Non-OT score.
Yeah. Auto fade of anyone who scores 100 points the next week. The next game, and they gave up 100 points. Marquette, I think, Tyler Kolek's first game back, he looked good, looking at form, but also, still getting his sea legs a little bit. And they can do that. Marquette can do that. You can be playing with them, you're back. The next, they explode. The next, you're down 15, and you don't know what happened, and it's over, and they're off to the races. And then, you
kind of like Alabama that way.
For sure, and you just can't catch up to them. I think this Marquette team is good. They were a top 10, top 5 team all year long. And I don't think they're going to change. It's a short number. It's a shady number. It's a bet detective sniff out that line number. I'm still going to trust. I'm going to trust Marquette in this home crowd with Shaka. Get it done, best.
This is the fade Shaka range.
Yeah,
short favorite, shortish, mid range favorite. I'm just going to ride the Buffs. I saw enough today. I like offensive basketball, unlike CJ over here. So give me Colorado plus the points. Again, Marquette could muck it up and make a mess of it, but I like Colorado, and I don't want to root for Marquette. I don't know why I'm so out on Shocker right now. Mac? Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it going into the tournament, Colby, that whoever won that Colorado-Boise game, we thought was going to get to the Sweet 16. I haven't seen anything different. I mean, it could have been Boise. We talked about it with the Mountain West, but it's Colorado because of KJ Simpson, De Silva, and Lampkin. They got pros on this team.
Even the reserves after that are capable of scoring. I mean,
and they're believing in themselves.
Yeah.
And just like Oregon, they finished the season strong, got some momentum, got to the Pac-12 title game. And like you said, this point guard matchup is fascinating because Kolek is the big name, but KJ Simpson might be better right now because Kolek's still banged up. Give me the Buffs outright.
Noah?
I'm not buying any of this bullshit. There's a reason why they didn't let me talk in the Florida game. KJ Simpson being the best player on the floor is just downright false. The best player on the floor had 33 points and only played 28 minutes. KJ Simpson 23, played 34. Walter Clayton picked up his fourth foul with 9 minutes to go in the second half. And then Todd Golden got teed up because it was such a shitty foul. And Florida loses by 2. So it was total bullshit. Also, Florida, 13th ranked offensive efficiency.
Real quick, Colby is just furiously pulling up some sort of stats.
Well, Florida...
He's full of shit. He's a Florida fan. Florida, he's full of shit a little bit.
Florida, 13th ranked offensive efficiency, 17th in tempo. Marquette, also 20th in offensive efficiency, 9th in tempo. Marquette's going to do the same thing against Colorado with a better defense. So
there you go. Yes, sir.
Let me just explain for a second. Walter Clayton did score 33 points, but he also had only 1 rebound and 1 assist. See, KJ Simpson
wasn't on the floor.
Is a floor general. 23 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. There's a fucking difference.
There's a team. There's a team of 5 guys on Florida that can do it all.
There was a team. Team of Gators that couldn't guard Eddie Lampkin.
Chomp.
We also were without one of the 2 centers.
Yeah.
So you're on Colorado.
And now you're home.
No, I'm on Marquette.
Okay.
I'm laying it.
I thought that was all the same. What a great team Colorado was.
I had already mentioned I was laying the points with Marquette a minute ago.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who stole your sack?
12-10.
Oh, I mean, like... Shit. The entire den was against me. So
I was with you for a little bit. You're either Gator or Gator
bring it
Bingo.
back up. I had
CJ blows with the wind. You know,
I had assessed the situation in that den, and I'm like, this is not the place for me.
The tide turned. The Gator den was not hospitable.
It was like that BW3s with that annoying buffalo that's boxing everyone out. 11:40 on the West Coast. We're staying in Indy.
Real quick, why does the buffalo have a surfer accent? I don't get that.
He's a bro.
Yeah, but like...
Because bros are likable.
Why is everyone looking at my face? Box out! Box out!
One of my favorite moments of being in that theater today was the guy who owned that private room. He then tells me, and shout out to him, and I'm not going to throw his name out there, but he goes... Who the fuck is Noah Beanick, and what is he rooting for? Could someone throw his ass out of here?
It was very easy to tell who I was rooting for. I was decked out in Florida gear.
He was full.
But I think he was just saying that the whole room was...
I'm able to read a room.
Yeah.
I am.
He felt some gambling energy going sour.
Kramer, what's the
next
left in
game?
the first minute of the game.
11:40. Back in Indy. Utah State out of the Mountain West.
Wow.
8 seed in the Midwest. Purdue, the 1 seed. Purdue laying 11 here. They survived, and their buttholes seem to be fine. Minus 575 on the money line.
That we know of.
I didn't inspect that closely. Utah State plus 425. 150.5 is the total. Big number for the old Mountain West, Colby.
No, let's take the points, man. In a way, Purdue dodged a bullet. I thought TCU matched up perfectly with them, but TCU obviously loses to Utah State. But Danny Sprinkle and Utah State, they keep overachieving. And to me, when I watched that Purdue game today, I would not say, they covered for me, but they did not really set the world on fire to me against a kind of a shitty Grambling team. Respect to Grambling, but, you're playing the 1 seed, and I thought it was not, we were talking about Longwood being a much more dangerous team if had Purdue gotten Longwood. Yeah, I'll take the points here, man. I think that Danny Sprinkle is a very good coach. You saw what he did at Montana State, taking him to back-to-back NCAA tournaments. And now he's at Utah State where, their athletes a little bit better, and I think they can stay within this number. I also think Purdue, just in general, I feel like they struggle more when they go outside of the Big Ten. We saw this today with JMU and Wisconsin and stuff like that. You play a lot slower teams. I think Utah State will be able to. I'm fascinated, actually, with the Osabar and Edey matchup. But give me the points. I think Purdue might win the game, but I'll take the points all day here.
I like Utah State a lot in this matchup. I'm looking for an opportunity to fade this Purdue team. Edey looked a little shaky from the free throw line. And, yeah, he does seem different in the tournament when he's not getting that Big Ten whistle. I think this is a good spot for Utah State. They are third best in the nation at defending the three ball. That really helps carry this Purdue team who shoots 40.7% from behind the arc. And how can you go against Danny Sprinkle right now? Like, this guy is obviously a good coach on quick turnarounds. You always like him. Give me Purdue here and the points.
And one thing I think that, their offense is ranked 40th in the nation. Utah State's defense actually charts a lot better than Purdue's. That's going to be fascinating to see if their offense can attack Purdue's defense and take advantage of that.
CJ.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm surprised. The only thing is I'm surprised this line was so big. It seems like I thought it was going to be at 8, 9 tops.
Right, Utah State gets no respect. They're pretty low in the Ken Pom rankings.
For to reach the double digits, and they've been in bad form. I was coming into it kind of wanting to play Purdue at a 7 or 8 line.
But we had a moment today where we're just like, TCU was definitely losing.
Yeah.
Before the game even tipped.
Right, absolutely.
Because everyone that we talked to was on TCU. It was almost like the New Mexico Clemson thing all over again.
Yeah. I did not like what I looked at Utah State the last couple of weeks. But, bounce back win. So I kind of think they're coming back to form, but I can't lay 11 with Purdue. Just give me the 11. I mean, that's ridiculous. What are we talking?
Purdue.
What are we talking? What are we talking about here? What is Purdue? And and the buttholes will definitely get tighter on this game for them.
Super tight game.
Painter fired if they lose this game.
I think Purdue wants him fired. I'm just
Mac.
kidding.
What's you?
I know that was brought up in the van.
If Painter loses outright.
That actually be a question for Noah, but as much as I hate Purdue, Yeah. I'm going to lay it. Because you look at Painter over the last couple of years, the hardest game's been the first game and then the Sweet 16, where they got more time to prepare. They're going to screw Utah State. Osabar is going to be in foul trouble when he sneezes on Edey to start the game. And Purdue got the game out of the way that they were really nervous about. They got the monkey off their back. I think they're going to play really well on Sunday, and then I'll fade them next week. And I think they're going to blow out Utah State. And this goes back to screwing the Mountain West. I mean, they get TCU, and then they get rewarded with Purdue. So that's what happens when you underseed these Mountain West teams. I'll lay it with Purdue.
Kramer, does he speak for Team Ryan?
Oh, no. I'm on Utah State.
Okay.
System play.
But just fading Purdue?
Yeah.
Good system.
Fair enough.
It's a good system.
Noah?
Yeah, Mac and I have talked about this throughout the week. Purdue in the last 3 years, undefeated in non-conference play. Their losses, North Texas, St. Peter's, and Fairleigh Dickinson. And
That is hilarious.
Incredible.
What a resume.
And this year, 9 of their 14 non-con wins, double digits. So I'm laying it with the Boilermakers. Choo-choo.
Nice.
Oh,
That's a mean frame.
all right.
That was the softest
Yeah,
choo-choo
that was-
in Purdue history.
There's a rail. If you're not familiar with Los Angeles, there's this line that goes right down Santa Monica Boulevard between we'll call it like La Cienega or La Brea and little wherever that troop. Where I'm blanking. Anyway, I'm trying to make a Boys Town joke. I'll move on. 12 to a 215 on the West Coast. Well, it's all out of fucking order, and I'm making it harder on myself. I'm looking at two things. 215 on the West Coast, Brooklyn, New York. The Dukes of James Madison take on the Blue Devils of Duke. This is confusing. Is this at all related to the royal family break-in video that we got this morning? Did we comment on that yet?
Shout out to the princess.
You know,
dealing
We
with
did not.
some-
We did not.
Was that yesterday? I forget.
No, that was today. And you know what's funny about it? What I saw online, right, there's the TVs were bad and whatever in the theater, and all of a sudden they broke in. They didn't actually break into action, but you couldn't tell with the theater with all the TVs. It was during a commercial break, but it was breaking news to tell us that the princess had cancer and she was going to
Wait,
chemo.
but they
and a
did that-
pre-recorded
yeah.
video, but it was just met with nonstop booing. And what the hell is? I don't care about your damn cancer. Get her off. We want to know.
I did at one point. I was clapping while she was giving the touching medical update, but I clarified that I was clapping for Western Kentucky,
Right.
Getting off to a little.
I was
start there with
also
a couple
clapping,
threes.
but I was clapping for her cancer diagnosis, not for.
I mean, it was just it was an odd. It was one of those things where it's an odd demographic. I understand you're CBS and you're a serious news company, but it's also like one of the few days a year.
Well,
Yeah.
Where-
Go for it. Go for
I
it.
was gonna say,
Yeah.
sorry, didn't interrupt, but we were saying it's hilarious. They broke it. Meanwhile, later on, we're watching the Yale Auburn game and the Florida game. Once the game was over, the news. There was a shooting in Russia today where 40 people in a theater.
140 wounded,
40
40
people dead.
and they didn't break in with that news.
Nah, that's a Twitter on Scroll, not even. But oh my God, there's breast cancer in the princess.
I don't think anyone plays fantasy Russia. They do play fantasy royal.
But it was an
family, though.
insane shooting, and it was actually a proud American moment because, like, that's not just America. There's shootings ever around the world. Like, we're not the only crazy ones. But like, if you were to break in with that, like, okay, I can see that. Okay, you know,
Yeah, relevant information.
we were
That-
laughing hard.
I mean, one of the silly whatever the programmer who decided that was the best move there.
Yeah, insane call. But like, apparently, it was during a commercial though. But we just couldn't tell from where we were at the theater. We
Oh,
thought
I don't care if it was
breaking
for.
into a game.
I'm more I assumed you wanted to speak to a demographic.
Yeah, for sure.
Wrong demographic.
Agreed.
All right, so Duke versus Dukes.
Duke.
Colby.
They're going to be duking it out.
Oh, nice.
I-
That was
Feel
good.
free to use that.
What is the number, by the way?
Sorry. The number is
7.
Nope, back on the wrong line. Duke by 7. Holy crap! Minus 310 on the money line. Plus 250 for JMU. 148.5 is the total. Colby.
I think JMU can win this game. Where's this at again? It's in New York though.
Brooklyn.
Duke's gonna have that crowd, but I think I watched Duke today. I was on Duke today, but they got very fortunate to cover that. They didn't look very good in my opinion.
Well, and again, I don't think Vermont was a particularly good Vermont team. That was my handicap was more. I didn't think Vermont was that good, and Vermont hung around. Like I think after watching that, I came away not that impressed with Duke. I think 7 is a lot for this James Madison team that plays some good defense, especially defending the 3-ball. Again, second in the nation. I think you slow down Duke from behind the arc, and you're right there, especially getting 7 points.
Yeah, I'm on board. Give me the points. I think they can win this game if they play. If they play like I think they can. And JMU's defense showed up tonight. We saw it. Part of our at least part of my handicap was that they could take down Wisconsin because they weren't super athletic. Now, obviously, Duke is way more athletic than Wisconsin, but I do think JMU's pace can be a factor, and I also just think just their guards. I love their guards. Terrence Edwards, a stud. They I think can at least stay in this game to cover this, but I actually think they could beat them. In my opinion, they've been playing better basketball lately than Duke.
Yeah, I don't think Duke's seen a team like James Madison, this kind of a style. I mean, I think the number is kind of fair, but that's way too much to give James Madison. This team is just they're a special team, and I think this is the regression to the means of this ACC that's been tearing it up. I mean, let's get some reality going in with these conferences here. And fuck this ACC. They were one of the weakest leagues they've been, obviously, in the year.
Well, they're doing pretty well.
Good right now.
I know they're ripping it up right now. But give me James Madison plus the 7, no doubt, and with an easy live money line there.
Sean.
No, I'm still on James Madison.
I'm just making sure because it feels like you guys are chasing here a little bit.
How so?
You're chasing. It was one. I would put it like this. Duke's a different team than Wisconsin.
Oh, I know.
Okay. Matt?
I think James Madison matches up well with Duke. I don't. This isn't probably going to be my money line play, but I do think this is at least a game. 7 is a lot.
Matt?
Colby, you're going to be wrong on this. It's not going to be a Duke home crowd.
Because everyone hates Duke, right?
Yeah, who's the doubleheader with? UConn.
Oh, you're
UConn
right.
is going to have that building, and they are going to be all in on JMU. And JMU had way more fans than I thought they were going to have tonight.
That's true.
Big school, man.
And Wisconsin usually travels well. JMU had more fans. I mean, I was super impressed with JMU. I thought this was a trap spot tonight. They showed up. Duke, they have not been the same team since the Flopkowski incident.
Yeah.
They struggle. I don't know what their identity is. They're kind of just a bunch of talented individuals. I think they're going to get punked in the round of 32 again.
He's got a point. If you look at the final, if you look at the the last 7 games that they played today, they covered, but they didn't look great. Before that, lost to NC State, loss at home to North Carolina. Then they had a loss at Wake in the Filipowski massacre. And their only wins, although one of them was NC State, but their other wins were against some hot garbage in Louisville and Virginia. So I think JMU is playing better basketball right now. So give me the points, right?
Let's go, Noah.
So I was talking to Mac about this one also at Circa. I was telling him I feel pretty good about Duke winning this game. I would set the line. I think they would win by double digits, and I see this thing come out at 7. And I'm like, oh boy, they are asking for Duke money. And I think Mac laid out the reason why I think James Madison's live here. I think
Do the Duke voice you did before. What it's asking for. Bet me.
Is that what that? It does kind of sound like Duke.
The private school pussy.
That's
voice
what the number
right there.
screams. That's what the number is saying.
what the sound of
yeah,
the-
that's the sound of the number.
Well, you can hear it in their voice.
I am an East Carolina fan.
Is that like do you guys have like a speech training on TC or something? So everyone's on JMU? Everyone is on JMU in the room?
reluctantly. You know what? I'll take. You know what? Oh my God. You know what? I'll
All right,
take
knock
one
my
for the
water
team.
over.
There we go.
I'll take Duke.
All right. You do
'Cause
think they
that
win by
was
double digits.
that was my
so,
gut
yeah,
reaction.
for sure.
I'll take Duke.
But then that
I'll
number
take one for
spoke
the
to you
team.
and spoke to all of us, so I got
yeah.
you. Let's go with it. Duke double digits.
Kramer, you haven't really come out with your pick here. What are you doing?
Because I was laying the points. I feel the same way as Noah, and we see this a lot in the second weekend. I mean, we kind of have some commandments about this with some loose trends, but I've been coming out to Vegas watching these games for long enough. The second round is for the 6 to 9 point favorite. Duke's laying 7.
Not for the team that almost went undefeated.
No, they didn't. No. They do have the nation's longest win streak, which means there's obviously a depressed value in their number here. So I'm going to be sharp and take the short number on Duke because a Blue Devil is better than a Duke. All right, next.
Oh, easy about your Dukes talk there, pal.
Well, Wellington Mara is a different Duke. We're talking about James Madison, one of the founding fathers.
Not one of the French.
Oh, those. They were our allies at one point. All right, 215 goes to 310. Memphis, Tennessee, Clemson, Baylor. Game I'm least excited about. 3-6 matchup in the West. Baylor laying 4.5, minus 190. Minus 200 on the money line, plus 165. 145 is the total. Short number. First gut reaction. Clemson had a good look there. Maybe they're a little overvalued here.
No credit.
I see someone waving.
There we go. Hello.
It's big fans out there. Shout out to them.
Clemson played great today. They deserve all the credit in the world. They look great, and to me, New Mexico was not only flat; they just looked unorganized. Like just from offensive sets, there was no spacing. It was just they're running it. It was just a sloppy ass
Poorly
game.
coached.
Yes, and credit to Clemson, but I can guarantee you that Baylor will not be sloppy because Scott Drew's teams are never sloppy like that, and that is why I will load up on Baylor. I'm a little surprised that the number's this short, but Clemson's a veteran team, but I just got to trust Scott Drew here. Brad Brownell, this is probably I think it's second win maybe. No, it might have been his first tournament win because they lost to Rutgers, right? It might be.
No, they made the Sweet 16
Did
one
they?
year.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2019 or something.
Yeah, but I just think Baylor's just a different team, man. Like New Mexico was unorganized and played into the hands of Clemson's experience, in my opinion. Baylor will not make those same mistakes. Scott Drew's too good of a coach. If they ever start to get rattled like that, it'll be a timeout and adjustments. And that is why I will take the Baylor Bears to get it done against Clemson.
Baylor right now is 30-1 to win it all, and now that my Auburn ticket has been punched into the wastebasket there, I really like what I've seen out of this Baylor team. We'll see what their path, because obviously things could get a little tough there down the line, but I think they match up well against Clemson. And I think their offense is really a tough out. So I think Baylor just dominates Clemson. I mean, I wouldn't mind the adjusted number. And now, granted, they really destroyed Colgate, and Colgate sucks, as we know. But I still think they win at least by 6. So even an alt number, I think, is good in this Baylor game. I really like them here. CJ?
Yeah, I mean, that was funny, too, but Baylor did pound Colgate today, and that's when they put the sound on. We all complained. Mac had the line of the day. Just when they came up, like, we have to watch Colgate get annihilated again. It seems like this happens every year. I have to just watch them get destroyed. But Baylor's a powerhouse. Like I said, this is the ACC regression. Although the only thing that does scare me about Clemson, there's always that one year, that team that nobody wants in the Sweet 16 that jumps in, and nobody wants Clemson.
Well, they are
there.
experienced, man.
Yeah, they're
very experienced.
For sure.
PJ Hall's been in college since the Nixon administration, I feel like. So,
right. So they can get it done. That does scare me a bit, and especially the way Baylor does not play defense. Always gives them vulnerable. But I think it's just Baylor's just too much. They're going to be a force on them. They'll win going away. Towards the end, it will be close, though. It's going to be a fight. And then I see them, like you're saying, like 7 or 8 points. Baylor pulls away.
Wins against UAB, a tournament team. Boise State, a tournament team. South Carolina, a tournament team. TCU, a tournament team. Shall I continue? I think, I'm done fading Clemson, period. I'll take the points here. It seems like it could be a close game, but, come on.
Couldn't you do this with Baylor, though?
What do you mean?
Yeah, down the stretch, Baylor, and I actually think, and PJ Hall's a very good basketball player, but I think Baylor will be able to, what's his name, Missy?
Missy.
I mean, Baylor beat Texas, Kansas, TCU.
You're missing my point.
Okay, what's your point?
That Clemson's flying under the radar. They won all these tough games early in the season.
But my point is Missy, as long as he doesn't get in foul trouble, I think can really kind of shut down PJ Hall, and I think their offense goes through PJ Hall.
I disagree.
Discord.
Okay.
PJ Hall has the experience, also the most. So to CJ's point, these 2 games were the most frustrating for me. One, because we all nailed the Baylor handicap that they would blow out Colgate, and it was on the main audio. 2, I was so pissed off because I loved this Clemson team in the non-conference, and they struggled in the ACC. We all thought the ACC was dog shit, and what do you know? The ACC starts to go on a roll in the NCAA tournament, and I'm starting to click in my head, hey, you know what? This is why they are just absolutely rolling. New Mexico right now. The other reason is because New Mexico's front court would not trail Clemson's front court. They can shoot the 3. One thing that Yves Misi cannot do is he's not a real mobile big. PJ Hall is money from deep. He's going to be the difference maker in this game. Clemson wins outright.
Woo! Mac.
No.
Big 12 guy.
So Houston and Iowa State, I would say, are the class of the Big 12. And I've said Baylor's kind of the under-the-radar team all year. We're talking about Clemson being under the radar. Baylor's the most quiet top 10 team all year. And they got 3 explosive guards. And Colby's right. The emergence of Misi, Baylor's lost in the second round back-to-back years because of injuries in the front court. They're healthy this year. They're going to get it done, pull away late, double digits, make their free throws. Sick 'em. Let's go.
Sick 'em.
Yes.
Sick 'em.
Cry.
What's the
That's a good point, though. The last 2 years they've lost in the second round. They won the Natty before that. I think this is a big thing for that team to get over that hump of winning in the second round.
I love how Sean kind of picks and chooses when to be courteous with the bear noise at the end.
People can work around the bear. It's a cocaine bear. It's a cocaine Baylor Bears.
Yeah, I think
line them up.
Cocaine's not a.
Be chewing your ear off. The slot machine at 1:30 in the morning about
Shout out
future
to the
plans
Maine
to go
Black
hiking.
Bears.
4:10 on the West Coast. We're into Spokane, Washington, where Alabama and Grand Canyon, the 12-4 matchup in the West, takes place. Alabama laying 5.5, minus 250 on the money line. Grand Canyon plus 205. 165 is the total. Grand Canyon was our darling this round. We all liked him. I know CJ's going for the long haul here. Colby, what about you?
Unfortunately, look, I love this Grand Canyon team. I just think there's a reason why I talked about this, I think, on our opening show here in Vegas, was Alabama's draw. The path is great for Alabama this year. Probably the best I've seen it in a while. And I just think this Alabama team now, had St. Mary's won, I actually believe St. Mary's would have beat Alabama because of their style. This, I don't think it's a good matchup for Grand Canyon. They can match them athletically. They both go at a crazy pace. I think if you're an Alabama fan, you're looking at your bracket and you're saying, holy shit, we can actually do it this year. We can get past the Sweet 16. I'm on the Tide, minus the points.
Roll Tide. CJ?
Congratulations, Alabama, for beating Charleston.
That doesn't sound...
This is very similar to my Tennessee-Texas handicapping, where if you listen to yesterday's show, I have Texas winning that game. Congratulations for beating St. Peter's. All of a sudden, everything's right in the world with Alabama.
Yep.
Alabama.
Fixed.
Yeah, they're completely fixed.
The heat is not in the hat anymore.
Absolute terrible form the last month and a half, let alone the last couple of weeks. And Grand Canyon, listen, I'm not on Grand Canyon to beat St. Mary's. I'm not on Grand Canyon to beat Alabama. We have big plans for this Grand Canyon team, and it's not going to stop versus Alabama. Are you kidding me? I mean, 5.5, I'll gladly take that. This is the money line. This is outright. Grand Canyon keeps rolling. I don't know if you watch them, but
electric.
They are electric, and they are, besides the Duquesne Dukes, the hottest team in this tournament.
If there's one game that I'm wrong on today on this slate, that I hope I'm wrong on, I hope it's this one because...
And Grand Canyon is not going to run at an absolute pace like that. They play some D. They can lock down, and they're not. I mean, they obviously not going to try to sprint with them, but I mean, they're just as good athletically, and they're playing in excellent form.
I would love to see Grand Canyon. I would love to be wrong about this one. I just think it's a great. If that number was a little higher, I would jump in on Grand Canyon. If it was like 8 or 9, but I think at that,
I'll say this: I'm a lot more confident in Grand Canyon versus Alabama than I was for St. Mary's.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Not me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This one's tough because you look at the advanced numbers and you see Grand Canyon 9th in effective field goal defense. I'm just waiting for someone to slow down Alabama a little bit and give them, I don't know, give them a taste of their own medicine a little bit. I hope it's this Grand Canyon team, 32nd in the nation in offensive rebounding percentage. Maybe they are that team, but Alabama hits their free throws. Very good on offense. I'm with Colby. This line feels really close, but man, I'm going to take Grand Canyon just because I want it to happen. But this one's one of the harder games, especially at 5.5. What are you doing, Ryan?
I'm kind of with Colby. We're back to that situation where you have a team that does something and then another team that does something, and one team is considerably better. So probably still some variance in here, and I'll be rooting for you, CJ, with my heart. But my money will be on Alabama laying the points. Mac?
I'm Benedicting my whole bracket. I had Tennessee go in the Final Four, and now I'm saying Texas is going to beat them tomorrow. I got Alabama in the Elite Eight, but after seeing that Grand Canyon crowd tonight, and then you're going to have San Diego State crowds, they're not rooting for Alabama. This is going to be a road game.
Yeah, nobody likes Alabama.
The crowds of JMU and Grand Canyon were the biggest surprise for me tonight, the way they traveled. I think also it's the fade Alabama after they score 100 points and they make 1,000,000 threes.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Grand Canyon outright. The line's telling you.
Yeah. I love that logic, although I am also in Colorado, who also put up 100. 102, let up 100. Noah, what are you doing?
They're different, though, because Bama's had such a high variance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think CJ's going to like the cocktail napkin number here. It was 3.5.
Yes.
For me, I was kind of impressed with the way that Grand Canyon just kind of handled St. Mary's defense. That is a unit that is much considerably better than Alabama's. Entering the tournament, Alabama had given up 98.6 points per game in their last 6 games. They gave up 96 to Charleston. If they're not making their shots, that's a losable game. I know that was a blowout for 35 minutes, but Charleston never really gave up, and they played that full 40 minutes. And I think Grand Canyon's going to do the same, and they've got the crowd, like Max said. That was the one thing that we noticed from UAB and Auburn. The Alabama State of fans did not travel well to the city of Spokane, where all 3 teams played. Right. So give me the elopes.
By the way, there was a great moment when Charleston made it 13 at the end. We were at the VSiN show where Noah thought the line was 13.
That was an innocent
genuinely rude. No, it was great to see your genuine
The
cheer
raw
for
reaction.
it. Yeah, I was like, oh man.
And
I was trying to figure it out. I'm like, does he have a second half over?
We were
like, what did he just hit with that shot?
Live bet.
yeah.
we were doing a live bad beats segment.
Yeah,
I was
know.
like,
It was
holy
great.
shit, that was just a bad beat.
I
But
loved
no,
it.
was
Then
a
you're
couple
like,
points
then
off.
you're like, it was a contest line or something. I don't know.
I couldn't have been wrong.
I loved it. It was great. It was great to see the Jed you enjoy it. I wish it was a bit, especially since that Charleston. Anyway.
Roll Tide. Roll Tide. Roll Tide. 4:45 on the West Coast, right into Brooklyn, New York. Northwestern, Connecticut, the 1-9 matchup in the East. 14.5 is the spread for UConn. Minus 650 on the money line. Northwestern plus 950. 135.5 is the total. Colby?
It's too many points. There's a big gap between Northwestern and Stetson, and it's just too many points for me. I think Northwestern can play. I think that Boo Buie, as we saw today.
That was the angriest you were today, at least from what I saw game wise.
Well, I hate Northwestern's university, and you can put that on record. Send it to them, all right? Please do that. Look,
You just got yourself 2 flying squirrels for going against Northwestern.
Yeah.
Colby.
But I do think they can give them some problems. I think Boo Buie is a guy that can, and the way they shoot the ball, I think can make it interesting. I'm not going to say they're going to beat UConn, but I think the way they shoot the 3 and what Boo Buie can do off the dribble can give them potentially some problems. And I'll take the points in Northwestern. UConn probably wins the game, of course, but I think it's a little bit too many points.
I'm taking UConn, and I don't think I'm falling into the trap of, of course they're going to destroy Stetson. Yeah, obviously they're much better than Stetson. Had them laying the 26.5. They came through. That was, again, that was a boring game, and not much of a sweat to me. I was also on Northwestern money line, and albeit they needed a lot to get that game into overtime, flip the switch again in overtime. I just think they're going to be, I don't know, fairly outmatched athletically in the spot. I mean, I hope they shock the world and knock out UConn. That would be awesome.
Mac was talking about this earlier, and they do face Edie. They face Edie. They're used to taking on the big center, who's really talented. And then, the fact that they take such good care of the basketball. They're like 5th in the nation in giving, and turning the ball over. So if they can just do that, I think they can stay within that number.
Yeah, I worry about Northwestern's 3-point defense. 272 in the nation. As far as what the 3-point percentage they allow, I think that's going to be the difference, unfortunately. And we see this all the time with these teams that are 14.5-point dogs where they're hanging around, and then that lead gets out of hand in the second half. Or the middle of that second half where all of a sudden UConn goes on a 6-point run. Next thing they know, they're down 12, and then they just kind of pack it in after a big emotional OT win in the game before. I think it's just a lot for them to turn around and get ready for this UConn team, so I'm going to fade them.
Yeah, it's tough to go against UConn, that's for sure. Northwestern will fight them, but like you said, it was an overtime game, and it's just UConn just has no weaknesses. It's almost unfair watching.
Except for Hurley.
I would say the weakness could be the fact that Big East has been ass.
Well,
look at
if you want to
every
defend
single team lost in the NIT.
If you want to defend the Big Ten, go
Well,
for
but
it.
I
know.
Has
That's
a Big
fair.
East team? What's the Big East record in the real tournament?
Well, Marquette beat Western Kentucky and UConn won, but if you're chalking 1 and 2 seeds, who's the third team that got in?
Creighton.
Yeah,
3-0.
Well, Creighton will lose tomorrow, so we'll be good there.
That is true. But also, and Hurley's screaming at the refs against Stetson 5 minutes into the game.
He
Like,
is an anger issue.
That's the thing. So that is one thing you can. That's something you can put your money on though, because UConn's not overlooking anybody. They're coming in here and they're coming in there angry and they have a chip on the shoulder for whatever reason. Hurley wants to do it. The absolute jerk. I like to call it Hurley's the Harbaughs of basketball, but it's an insult to the Harbaughs.
It is.
Yeah, just give me UConn to pound them.
Kramer, you got to be on UConn, right?
Yep.
They're favored.
Yep. Their backups could have covered 30 points for Stetson.
Yeah. Now, they were, Kenny the Jet was struggling to figure out stuff to talk about during the halftime. But I did think his point about how when you really dominate a team, and they didn't really feel like they took the foot off the gas at all. I get it, some of that's to the opponent, but we even see some of these really good teams in these big spots will take the foot off the gas a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. They just look, and they've looked awesome all season as well. So it's not like just this Stetson matchup that I'm partial to. Mac, what are you doing?
So everybody said FAU could get UConn, and I said no. Northwestern is a team that could get UConn. I actually think they're going to hang in right till the very end. But I think they're going to have a chance to win. I think they're going to push UConn. I think they match up well. I think they can slow the game down. They got the best point guard in the game in Boo Buie. He can control the game. They can put Klingon in ball screens like they put Edey. They beat Edey at home. Took Purdue to overtime at West Lafayette, even though Purdue shot 40 more free throws than Northwestern and Chris Collins got thrown out. I think Northwestern is live in this game. UConn probably gets out alive, but Northwestern with the points easy.
Noah, what are you doing?
I think UConn drills them. Last year, UConn was 6-0 against the spread. They won every game by double digits in the NCAA tournament. Northwestern is kind of good for one of these huge performances every now and then. They kind of got lucky to get out of there alive against FAU. John L. Davis with the last possession forgot how much time was left on the clock.
Veteran.
Yeah, I mean, come
Crafty.
Brutal.
on. The other thing is Boo Buie last year against Rutgers specifically, 4 for 11 from the field and 5 for 16 from the field. Cam Spencer was on that Rutgers team. Very lock-up defense. UConn 11th in defensive efficiency. And Cam Spencer is not even the best defender on this team. I think UConn rolls.
No train? All right.
No, they're the Huskies.
Five.
So
Well,
need something
I mean,
else.
could have been one of those dog trains they drive up in Alaska. 5:40. Oh, that sounded like a werewolf. 5:40. I have more questions for Noah. 5:40 p.m. on the West Coast. We're in Memphis, Tennessee, where Houston and Texas A&M face off. This one should be a doozy. The Buzzsaw showed up in the first round, but so did Houston. Looking incredible, throttling their opponent as I predicted. Houston -10, -450 on the money line. The Fighting Aggies are 360 on the money line. 133.5 is the total. Colby?
Love the Aggies here with the points, mainly because they've already played this year. Texas A&M lost by 4 at Houston back in December. Since then, Houston's gotten more injuries. Also, this is not in Houston. This is in Memphis. And then you add in the fact that one of the things I liked about A&M is they out-rebounded Houston on the offensive glass. I think they can pose some problems there. Now, I don't think A&M is going to win this game, but I think they can definitely cover this game. So give me the Aggies plus the points.
This one's tough for me because where was this Texas A&M team for a large portion of the season? When they were losing to Vanderbilt on February 13th, like this was a pretty shocking performance to just destroy this Nebraska team. I mean, I thought they'd be able to get some points against Nebraska, but I mean, they had like 58 in the first half alone. Like that offensive explosion, I felt to me was a little bit of an outlier. But again, they did put up 97 against Kentucky, so maybe they do have this offense figured out. Put up 90 against Florida, but in Florida, to Colby's point earlier, they do tend to play some higher scoring games. I'll roll with Texas A&M getting the 10 points. I love their offensive rebounding.
I think one of the things to circle from the first matchup, A&M lost by 4. They shot 68% from the free throw line. If they shoot better from the free throw line, they could win that game because Houston only missed 1 free throw that entire game.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess you could counter by saying, well, that's weird because Houston's normally not that good of a free throw shooting team. I know because that was my handicap and why you shouldn't be laying 24 with them is because they don't hit their free throws. But when you win by 40, the free throw number doesn't really come into play. I'll take Texas A&M plus 10, but I am a little nervous because I do like what I saw a lot out of Houston, obviously.
Yeah. Imagine what they would have won by if they could hit their free throw.
I know.
They won by 40 points.
CJ, what are you doing?
I will say A&M did smartly stay under 100 points today with 98. So there's not a fade there. So good job by Texas A&M. That being,
Houston was 13-22. Yeah. Now what on the and Longwood was 15 out of 16. So if you want to tell me next time people
So I was on the right side with Longwood today.
Yes,
But,
yeah,
all
we were on the right
beat,
side.
We beat him on the line. All right, fair enough. I've never been on the right side of A&M all year long. When I back them, they're flopping. When I'm against them, they're lighting up teams and putting up 98 points. I think that this is what they've been doing all year. And Houston's angry. Houston was very angry today. That loss to Iowa State. I mean, that's light a great flame that they're going to need. They're on a collision course to meet UConn. I do not want to get in Houston's way right now. I'll lay the 10. I think they pound A&M, and I think A&M throws a stinker up there.
So A&M put up 98 points, which was their highest point total of the season. They scored 97 against Kentucky in overtime against that defense. Now they face Houston. I do think that if I liked A&M, what I would say is I think that the Texas A&M has some guards that maybe can handle themselves, but I've also seen them look absolutely lost out there.
Yeah.
And even though they don't generally turn the ball over, they just make bad decisions. And I think Houston will make you make more bad decisions. And I think people probably talk themselves into why this round why Houston wouldn't break it open. And what did they do? They absolutely smashed. They are on another level, and they're not being given the same another level respect as UConn. So I'll lay it. I like the chalk. Mac?
I think this is going to be a blowout. Texas A&M is a 29% three-point shooting team. They went 13 to 23 tonight. I mean, that's not sustainable. And you mentioned it was a 4-point game the first time. Houston got up 22, played with their food. They're going to get up 22 again, and Kelvin, like tonight's going to say, hey, motherfuckers, step on their throat, and they're going to blow them out.
That was in Houston, though. This is in Memphis.
Yes.
They also got
There's more.
A&M got some techs.
There's some more Houston fans than A&M fans in Memphis. They're going to kill them.
I don't know about that. I think
I saw the crowds tonight.
Yeah, but I think A&M's win is going to bring in some.
They haven't traveled.
That's a rivalry,
Noah?
man. Yeah.
I like everything that Mac just said. I'm going to parlay that with it wasn't a true road game that Texas A&M played in Houston against Houston earlier this year, and that line was set at 4. Now this one's set at – or that line was set at 6.5, sorry, and they won by 4. Now this line's set at 10. I wonder why. I think Houston rolls.
Oh, boy. R.I.P. Buzz. You're still welcome back in Blacksburg.
It is scary that Ryan's fading Buzz Williams.
Well, they just
what happened, Ryan?
Because I watched Buzz for a number of years, and they do not have offensive explosions like they had today, ever.
That was wild.
6:40 p.m. on the West Coast. Last game of the day in Spokane. Yale, San Diego State, the 5-13 matchup in the East. San Diego State laying 5.5 minus 240 on the money line, plus 195 the other way. 128 is the total, very low total here. Expected to be a little bit of a rock fight. I saw someone post a picture of one of the kids on the Yale team, his LinkedIn profile, which I wonder how many kids on San Diego State have one of those. He's a private equity.
LinkedIn.
He's a private equity intern and 2-guard.
Nice.
So that being said, Colby,
you don't want to talk to at a cocktail party.
This seems ridiculous, but how are we not laying the points here?
I think this is one of the harder games to pick on the slate. They both play at a really slow pace. I just think this is a fascinating matchup because I think they're kind of mirror images of each other in many aspects. But I think I'm going to take Yale in the points. I think San Diego State's been doing this all year. When they win, they don't blow teams out. So if they win by 2, they win by 4, something like that. I was on UAB today. They covered. I think Yale can stay within that. I know Leday is a beast, and the way the Aztecs play defense is always, they're like UVA in a way. But Yale is a very, very good defensive team, and the Ivy's been way up. I think you take the points here. Aztecs win, though.
I'm all over San Diego State. I mean, if there ever was a team that dumped the 1968 Cabernet or whatever these Yaleys drink, I mean, they were dumping the Gator. They were running up and down the hall like they were acting like they won the national championship. I mean, if there was a ladder to cut down a net, they would have done it at that game. I mean, this to me, And meanwhile, San Diego State had a very back-and-forth game, a gut-check game, a wake-up game. I'm with Colby in the sense that it's always scary laying anything above like 4 with San Diego State against a decent Yale team. And certainly Yale and the Ivy has been way up. I just think this is just a massive letdown for these Yaleys.
CJ?
Well, I mean, obviously the letdown spot for sure. Did someone say ladder, by the way? I'm sorry. I thought someone did say that.
Where'd that come from?
CJ, do you have a permit for concealing and carrying a ladder? Just pulls it out of nowhere.
FAA regulations change on the daily, so I can't decide which one I want to expose or pack it on the overhead, or if I have to, if I have to check it, I have to declare it. But I did hear about the ladder. Here's the thing: it is going to be a rock fight. There's similar teams. San Diego State, they've been overrated all year. They're judging them off last year. They're not the same. They are good. Today was hilarious. As we were making fun of those classic San Diego State possessions where they just dribble the ball out, pass it to each other.
Oh, we're supposed to score.
2 seconds of the shot clock. They just fired off the
They make it go.
They either bank it in or everyone just jailbreaks towards that rim.
And they get a rebound.
And they rip that rebound down. They get fouled and won, whatever. I mean, they play a prison-style ball that is aggressive. But with every San Diego State game, and then today was a classic example versus UAB. They're in control. They're up big. And then they go through it's just going to come, a 25, 30-minute lull where they just don't score. And next thing you know, the other team's back in the game. UAB had a chance to win that game. It came down to the wire. I expect a very low-scoring game in this game. I'll take the points with Yale. So anytime you got a total of 128, I think it'll be around the 120, 115 area, 55, 50 range. I'll take the points with Yale.
I mean, I just love those highly efficient fadeaway jumpers that the big men of San Diego State take. Mac, what are we doing here?
So I like to talk about this on these quick turns is the styles make fight. And I don't think Yale can simulate the physicality of San Diego State in a quick turn. Off the emotional win. Feels like deja vu. Furman, miracle winner against Virginia. San Diego State grinds out a tough one against Charleston. San Diego State and Furman, blowout. Give me the Aztecs. I think they blow this thing open in the second half. Tougher team.
I mean, if you go back, I think, to February 27th, all the way back, so that's like 7 or 8 games for the Aztecs, maybe even 9. I think only one time has a game not gone more than 7 points.
Yeah.
So I know the line is, what, 5.5?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think that they're going to win the game, but they just don't blow teams out.
I know 5.5 for San Diego State. It's like 12.
It's a quick turn, though.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not used to this level of physicality on a quick turn. So that's my logic.
Noah?
Yeah, so I think I agree with Colby. This one was the toughest game for me to pick. Real quick on Sean, though, I thought the team that was running up and down the halls was Colorado because they were 100% doing the gator chop down that hallway, running up and down after that win.
It's personal.
That's the game winner. For me, though, I think
Snouts down. What do you say for Gators?
I don't know.
Belly up.
Belly up. There you go.
I know Cameron does the show before us, but he had a classic moment on Bill O'Reilly. He said he mad though. He mad though. Noah's big mad though.
I am a little mad, but Brian Dutcher's my guy. And before the season even started, I said it as a joke, but I would have loved this guy to have been the head coach of Michigan, maybe new head coach. But as of watching him lately, like knowing that the reality of a new head coach at Michigan could come true, this style of ball is not appealing. I mean, if you don't make some of these shots, they're tight games. Yale has plenty of shot makers. We saw that today, and the Ivy League's up. I don't normally do this, but I'm going to take the Bulldogs here.
Whoa.
Kramer, what's your final prediction?
No, it's just easy. Mac nailed the handicap. I mean, we talk about this all the time with teams. When you step up into a different athletic class, San Diego State's going to bully the shit out of this team. And whatever Auburn failed to do, it's going to happen.
Well,
the job will be done.
Princeton did go to the Sweet 16 last year. So put some respect on the fucking Ivy.
I just don't know what San Diego State team you guys are talking about.
Can we get how about this? If Yale wins, we get Colby one of those giant Y sweaters.
Yeah, that was amazing. The crew team, the George W. Bush, the whole thing that happened today, the cardigan, the lady cardigan. When it happened, when they felt it on the screen, our me and Mac's reaction was like, oh my God, Colby, look at this. Colby's reaction to this is going to be so irate and furious, and so much so he missed it, and we missed it. So and Max immediately, all right, I got on YouTube TV. Hold on, it's on a delay. He grabs out his phone. It's on a delay. Does a YouTube screen, grabs it, shot. And we all gathered around to show the reveal of Dundee looking at this preppy guy in his amazing preppy sweater.
The private school pussies were out today.
And
they were out.
I mean, obviously it was cartoonish, but it was incredible.
I mean, also just logistically, who wears a heavy knit sweater over a dress shirt at a college basketball? Like how bone chilling is it in this arena? And I tweeted out from the @Gambling Podcast account a photo of the Yale guy saying corporate gambling fans versus our fans, and it's a gentleman who was hanging out with us passed out in the backstage. So nice comparison there. Kramer, time for our locks and our dogs, brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. Your lock if you're looking to find some optimized parlays. Producer Josh has been making a killing with some of his same-game parlays and just like multi-game player props. The college basketball product is live. So, again, if you're looking to do some data, some research for player props or for underdog fantasy pick'em, highly recommend the tools over at HOFBets.com. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app. Use the promo code SGPN. 50% off your first month when you use the promo code SGPN. Kramer, what do you got?
Colorado +4, San Diego State -5.5. And it's going to seem silly, but Clemson's that team. Clemson money line.
I wanted to get JMU in my locks. Couldn't quite get there because I love San Diego State. The fading Yaleys off that emotional win. They're going to be. They got the yachts in the Puget Sound. They're going to be tipping back, sailgating before all Saturday night. They're going to be distracted. So I like San Diego State. Big get up spot for the Mountain West here, and then Baylor -4.5. They're just a better team than Clemson. It's just that simple. And then the Colorado Bison on the money line. Buffs roll. Down goes Shaka. CJ.
What are we giving out? Locks and parlays?
2 locks and a money line dog.
2 locks and a money line dog. My favorite song growing up. Houston is my first lock, -10. No doubt about that. Don't even have to do the analysis that we already went through all that. Money line dog. I've expressed that plenty of times. Grand Canyon. That's not even and I almost want to lock that up +5.5 actually as well. But
normally when a guy has a future like 500 to 1, 200 to 1, you're like looking for hedge opportunities. CJ's like, nah, just keep adding to that pile.
I mean, obviously way too early to hedge, but like I said, I was much more worried about St. Mary's than I am Alabama.
I love it.
Not worried about this out of sorts Alabama team. Give me Grand Canyon on the money line. Houston as a lock, and then if I had to throw another one in there just to fade you guys in your show, Marquette -4.
Love it. Colby?
Locking up Baylor -4.5 against Clemson. Locking up Alabama -5.5 against Grand Canyon. The dog is. Man, I like. I have a parlay that I will give out for my clientele out there. Just dial 1-800-PICK-DUNDEE. All right.
It's too many digits.
Yes.
It's a Google phone number.
Look, I think Colorado and JMU we should parlay, but I'm going to take Colorado for the full-on dog here. I think the Buffs. I said this all really since the Pac-12 tournament that when things are going good. And things are going good. They're capable of beating almost anybody in the nation. So give me the Buffs there on the money line again. And but I kind of like it with the money line parlay with JMU.
Yeah, I might be talking to that. Mac, 2 locks and a dog.
2 locks. I'll lock the 2 favorites at the end of the night. Give me the Houston Cougars laying the big number. Give me San Diego State laying that number. And I've been with Colby. I love the Buffs. Future Big 12 member, Colorado Buffalo. And, I got a flight to catch here in about 5 hours, and I got some time. So I'm going to have the ACC regression parlay that the bet detective suggested. Sparty, Oakland, JMU, and Baylor. Let's go. Let's go. A little round robin action.
Yes, sir.
This ACC bullshit.
Make it personal. I love it.
Double down. Double down.
Noah?
I find it interesting that the guy that literally went on VSiN and last night's show saying we have to submit is not submitting to the ACC here because I'm calling for Clemson on the money line against Baylor. Let's go Kramer. And then the 2 locks, the 2 1 seeds. Houston, they roll against Texas A&M. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about regression candidates. There's your biggest one, the Aggies. And then the second one, Purdue, -11. This is in Indianapolis. The Mountain West, everybody likes to fade them because of the home environments that they all play in. And then when they get to the neutral courts, it's not the same. Well, here's a home environment for you. Mackey on the road in Indy. Give me the Boilermakers. Choo, choo.
Yes.
Get out of the way of that freight train.
Get off the tracks. Kramer, what's a parlay you like?
I mean, I would say we keep. I thought Noah was going down a path I was going to agree with him, but I would just simply say, give me Houston, give me San Diego State.
Houston laying the points, San Diego State laying the points. I'm with Colby. Give me a Buffs JMU parlay. I was close to putting JMU in the lock pile, but yeah, I like both on the money line. Colby, is that your parlay? Mm-hmm. Yeah, co-signing that.
At it, buddy.
CJ, what do you got?
Well, if we're parlaying, I mean, we got to. Yeah. I like I said, I like the JMU, but of course I'll do it with Grand Canyon. Of course, money line parlay. Let's get this thing going.
JMU and Grand Canyon parlayed on the money line together.
What would that pay off?
Ooh,
because we're getting jet ski money.
Yes, right? $1.625 million.
CJ and I are working on a parlay to get some jet skis. That's the goal for this summer.
We did some good late night logic last night. We had a crazy first half parlay where we're like, one final words were like, because we took
Stetson.
We took Stetson plus a 16 and a half.
How could one team be down 16 at half?
Impossible. Even though Tennessee was just up by 40. Colorado logic, I remember, was they already played a game. They're hot in the first half. They're fresh. Florida won't even know how to play basketball in the first half. I think it was like 44-44 at halftime. It was just fine. And yeah, we went with the money line dog parlay today. 3 games. We had Northwestern. We had James Madison. And instead of Grand Canyon, we're like, let's go with Charleston. Let's get some jet skis. Let's go big, go home.
Could have had half a jet ski.
Yeah, we could have rented a jet ski, but who wants that? We got to own the whole damn jet ski. Mm-hmm. Hey, that'll do it for the show. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. Merch Madness still alive. Use that promo code MADNESS. Get 15% off everything. Make sure you subscribe to the College Basketball Experience. Make sure you subscribe to Bottom Line Bombs on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Big thanks to Wynn Studios for having us this week. Always enjoy just Vegas and hanging out in the studio. Shout out to all the listeners. We got to shake a bunch of hands, kiss a bunch of babies, smoke some cigars later on tonight. Great week in Vegas. We'll be back in studio next week.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, Stacking the Money Green. He's Ryan.
Ciao.
Kramer. Let it ride.